Hey people, welcome to another edition of Wheel of Albums. My name is Justin, along with my brother Adam and our friend Jack. Welcome to our podcast, where we spin a wheel of 1001 albums you must hear before you die. We're up to episode 75. That feels like some sort of milestone. Adam spun the wheel this week. He got an album that I was not even aware of. It's the first one. I've heard of the Youngbloods, but Elephant Mountain, this is a new one that you usually don't see on many lists out there. So, fellas, what do you guys think about Elephant Mountain?
Well, Justin, I have decided to stay in Mom's basement until I hear an album or see an album spun we've actually heard of. This week we've got Elephant Mountain by the Youngbloods. Did some research, and the Youngbloods are a 60s psychedelic folk band from New York.
Youngblood's known for their big song Get Together. It was a top 10 hit in 1969. It's not on this album, but I do know that song.
It's time to get together. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another.
As far as a full-length album, I've never thought of the Youngbloods and LPs before. I was very surprised when this was spun. Jack, how about you?
I thought, well, clearly Elephant Mountain's the album that has the song Get Together on it. Guess what? Doesn't. Another rug pulled out from under me. So we started off on a bad foot, Youngblood's Elephant Mountain. Let's see if it gets any better. Charlie Daniels was probably making bets with the fiddle player constantly throughout the production of this album. And they would go, yeah, Charlie, we know you're a fiddle player.
All right, for starters, Elephant Mountain, that sounds like a hippie location somewhere. Professor Adam, can you look into it? Give us some research. Where is Elephant Mountain?
I mean, is it a mountain that has elephants on it, or is it a mountain that looks like an elephant? Upon further review, the mountain is part of the Inverness Ridge in Marion County, California, where the lead singer of the Youngbloods, Jesse Colin Young, lived when they moved there from Greenwich Village.
So I was right. It's just a hippie location, kind of like Big Pink for the band.
Album opens up with this violin. Adam, it's triggered some trauma in Adam's life, and it makes him think of something.
15 seconds of the first song, Darkness, Darkness, and my initial reaction was, oh my gosh, we're going to get an album that sounds like the Waterboys Fisherman Blues. Like, it's got that vibe to it where it's like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, those first 15 seconds they're the best thing about this album. I actually was thinking Copperhead Road by Steve Earle for some reason when this album started up. And then I got sad because those fiddles never came back for the rest of the song.
It reminds me of some scene in a movie. I don't know what movie, maybe a Coen Brothers movie, maybe some sort of prison movie. I can't remember. Maybe Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I don't know. But those opening few bars do remind me of something. Then the song obviously turns into that psychedelic, high-pitched thing. But the songs it reminds me of would be Another Bag of Bricks by Flogging Molly and What Were You Waiting For by Rose's Pawn Shop.
Unfortunately, that vibe doesn't last past the first song.
As I mentioned, Get Together is not on this album. I don't know what Dimery's thinking. Maybe he thinks that this is inventing a genre or this is a missing link.
And Jack, that's what I was thinking too. Listening to this was he had to, Dimery that is, had to be thinking like maybe this is a spot where New York folk, California sound all comes together and adds in little elements of jazz. At the core of this, though, this isn't even a transition album. To me, this just sounds like an album where the Youngbloods are trying to find themselves. And that could be a very difficult listen.
I don't think that other bands were listening to this and were inspired. I think there was a movement that was going on and the Youngbloods were part of it, but I don't think they were the initiators.
I really dig Jerry Corbett's guitar work. He evidently left the band while recording this album, which I think may be a key moment that doesn't allow these guys to become bigger. It kind of feels like they're figuring things out, right? I think they get another album with Jerry Corbett and maybe they figure out exactly what their sound is.
I mentioned earlier I really like the beginning of Darkness, Darkness, and that's a pretty good sign. Throughout the rest of the album, besides Darkness, I like Quicksand. I like the saxophone part in that. Kind of reminds me of Van Morrison a little bit. Do you guys have anything on the positive side that you like about Elephant Mountain?
There are still a couple good tunes on here, but the one I'll give the most respect to is Quicksand. I like that. Even though I'd seen the movie True Lies, the cover of Darkness, Darkness never jumped out at me. Didn't leave a lasting impression. Didn't know about it.
There are a couple songs on the album that I think deserved maybe bigger success, or at least a fist bump for being like really good songs. Those two songs for me are Darkness, Darkness and Quicksand. So I think Darkness, Darkness sounds as good as any other 60s Woodstocky song you can think of. There's a part there where it's a little too 60s and it's like, wait, there's like some reverb or something going on in there. Quicksand is this like really sly, slow burner. It gets you singing Quicksand in your mind, and it sucks you in, and eventually by the end of it you're just consumed by it.
And this album's got 6 instrumentals on it, 13 songs. 4 of them we didn't even rank because they're so short. One's just called Turn It Over, which is probably to remind hippie Johnny there in 1970 to flip the album over. Gosh, and on Sir Francis Drake, that song is tough to really get into. A good amount of noodling going on there.
Where they really just kind of let it go is that on Sir Francis Drake, we got 6 minutes and 45 seconds to fill. Just do your thing. We'll press record. Charlie Daniels obviously napping or something during this. I had to get confirmation. This really was Charlie Daniels. I don't know if he was, Woolly Swamp Charlie Daniels at this point in time. I can't see Charlie Daniels just sitting in the booth and letting this go on. Maybe that trip to Woolly Swamp changed him.
Well, we speak of strange credits. How about Rain's song, Don't Let the Rain Bring You Down, which has a kazoo in it. Written by Jerry Corbett, along with Felix Pappalardi and Gail Collins. I know those names because the two of them, they wrote most of the songs for Mountain. Anyways, I wasn't a big fan of that song. But Adam did find a tidbit here that it's going to make you laugh. I didn't pick up on this, Adam.
It may deliver one of the best 60s psychedelic lines I've ever heard, which is, if the room was peanut butter, we'd be sticking by each other. Which is fantastic.
Vocals for the Youngbloods, handled by Jesse Colin Young. And I know Jesse Colin Young because my dad left behind a vinyl called Song for Julie. Went to look for it this morning, couldn't find it in the crates. And I kind of like this album. It is full of some big and different ideas, and I could see that spilling over from an album like Elephant Mountain. Maybe this guy just had a bunch of ideas. He just needed the right producer or, a good team around him to be able to figure things out.
That guy's voice, I don't know. I can't get behind that. This was sung in a cot. A lot of people don't know that. This is one of the most cot recorded vocal albums ever made.
Songs from a cot.
And the instrumentals were actually not instrumentals. He just dozed off.
Lowell Levinger, I think I'm saying his name right, also known as Banana, the only still living member of the original Youngbloods. He plays with Johnny Van Zandt. So many Bruce Springsteen connections on this podcast. He was a Swiss Army knife of instrumentation, and he had the nickname Banana. Now, when I think of fruit nicknames, I think of John Boyd, our good friend John Boyd, co-owner of BC Records, we're going to give a shout out to here, and his next door neighbor growing up, Joe Johnson, Sam Stillwell. I'm just throwing out my favorite people from the 90s I knew. He gave the nickname Peaches to Joe Johnson, and he got that from Steve Miller Band's The Joker, Really Love You Peaches, Want to Shake Your Tree. And so his name became Peaches the whole time we were in college. Do you guys have anyone that you know that you would give a fruit for a nickname, and what would that be?
Fruit. I did know somebody named Pickle, nicknamed Pickle, but that's not a fruit. Peanut, that's a legume. I don't know that I'd want a fruit nickname. Maybe you guys can change my mind, but I'm jaded. I'm jaded on this one.
How can you not want a guy in your band named Banana, right? And I think if I had a fruit nickname when I was in my 20s, Kumquat, that, my friend, is just a loaded nickname with, you don't want to be like, hey, what's up, Kumquat? Having the nickname Kumquat is like the equivalent of being named Boner Stabone on the 80s sitcom Growing Pains. You ain't getting ladies with the nickname Kumquat.
It's been a while since we were this close in agreement on an album. Final ratings for Elephant Mountain. Adam and myself both gave it a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, and Jack a 4.9. That's when we ranked all the songs on the album, minus the instrumentals on this, the short instrumentals, that is, and then divided by the number of songs after that. Our favorite songs on the album, Quicksand was our favorite by a long shot. Darkness, Darkness, our second favorite, and then tied Beautiful and Sham, our least favorite song on here. And I read online, a lot of people actually like this song on Sir Francis Drake is our least favorite song. So if you're listening and you like the Youngbloods and love that song, sorry, we did not.
Must you scale Elephant Mountain before you die? Again, I'm not accusing Justin of giving us crap. I'm merely stating he has been giving us crap.
I'm not responsible.
No. Don't listen to Elephant Mountain before you die. Listen to Get Together, the one song that's not on this album that's really good by the Youngbloods, before you die. Because it makes you feel good. That is a good song. But I'm going with no, do not listen to Elephant Mountain before you die.
Adam, you didn't give Elephant Mountain any love.
I think my biggest problem with the album is that it sounds like a band that hasn't quite figured out who they are yet.
Bingo.
There's a lot of cool sounds. There's a lot of cool ideas. Again, it feels like they're on the precipice of something. I just feel kind of like it's a missed opportunity to make like one really great sounding album. If you want to know who the Youngbloods really are, throw the movie Forrest Gump on and watch the scene where Jenny tells Forrest about her travels to California while Get Together plays in the background. Jack, Justin, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm gonna say you do not have to visit Elephant Mountain.
I'm regretting all those transitional albums in season 3 I said no to, like The Color of Spring and Porcupine. I mean, this could be looked at as a transitional album. I don't know much about the Youngbloods except for Get Together, which you guys have both stated. We've stated many times over and over that how big of a song that was in the 60s. There's some ideas on here, but this isn't even transitional. This is looking for an identity. So it's a no for me. And I was disappointed. I was hoping for something big. When I heard those first 15 to 20 seconds of Darkness, Darkness, I was like, all right, we're going to get into something here I really like. And that just all deflated by the third song on Sir Francis Drake. This is a no for me. All right, Jack, season 4 has been interesting. Getting lots of things we're not familiar with. Why don't you give that thing a spin and see if we can buck that trend?
I've been in a funk these last couple albums. Here we go. All right. I do not know the album. It's called Red Dirt Girl, and I'll have to look up and see who it's by. Well, it's by Emmylou Harris, who I associate with country, and this is a 2000 album from Emmylou Harris, Red Dirt Girl, on the next Wheel of Albums.
If you're listening and watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and comment if you like. On Spotify, follow along, give us a rating, and we'll give you new episodes almost every Monday.
I'm going with the nickname Papaya if I had a fruit nickname. You know, I would be known for my musky smell and weird shape. But once you get to know me, you find out I'm just kind of sweet on the inside. And don't be afraid of those black seeds. You can eat them.
Well, all right now.
And they'll taste delicious. Papaya. What's up, papaya? Yeah, papaya. Go, papaya. I love it. Papaya how? Right here, baby. All right.